Namaste, myself Geetu Srikumar. In the last session, we discussed about number system. Now we are going to learn about real numbers. Real numbers consist of both rational numbers and irrational numbers. Do you know the difference between rational and irrational numbers? We can say there are mainly two differences. First one is rational numbers can be written in the form P by Q. So simply we can say irrational number cannot be written in the form P by Q. This can be written in the form P by Q. This is not in the form of P by Q. Example, root 2, root 3, pi. These numbers cannot be written as P by Q. The second difference. Moving to second one, I will like to say about decimal expansion. Did you hear about decimal expansion? You have already studied in the earlier classes. Decimal expansion. There are so many types of decimal expansion. I will show you. 18. This is simply 18. Is there a decimal there? No. But if needed, if you are asked to find a decimal there, you can say there is also a decimal. How? 18 means 18.0. So, any number can be written as a decimal expanded form. That is simply 0.0. The other one is 2.34. Though the decimal terminated, decimal expansion is terminating. Now again another one. Here, the decimal expansion is not terminating, that is not ending, it is continuing. But here, a set of numbers are repeating. So here you can see two types of decimal expansion. One is terminating decimal expansion, the other one is not terminating but repeating. The other word of repeating is recurring. So here it is non-terminating but recurring. Again, another type is here also it is not terminating. It is not ending. But is it repeating? No. A set of numbers are not repeating. If it was repeating after 6, this must be 7. But no, it is some other number, so it is not repeating. So, a rational number, decimal expansion terminates, or if it is not terminating, it will repeat. That is non-terminating, recurring. And in irrational number, decimal expansion is non-terminating, also non-repeating. That is non-terminating, non-recurring. Okay. Now we can check what is HCF and LCM. HCF means highest common factor and LCM is lowest common multiple. I will show you through an example. We can find the HCF and LCM of 60 and 72. For that, here, ask to find HCF and LCM of 60 and 72. For that, I am finding the prime factors of 60. We can start from the least primes. The first prime is 2. Then it is divisible by 2. So 2. Now again, this is also divisible by 2. This is not divisible by 2. So the next prime number is 3. We can check it. Yeah, 3 is divisible here. And here 3 is not divisible. So the next prime is 5. It is divisible here. Now 72. This is divisible by 2. Again into 18 2s are 36. Now 2, 9 2s are 18. Now 9 is not divisible by 2. So the next prime number 3. 3 3s are 9. Again 3 is divisible by 3. 3 1s are 3. So 60 can be written as product of primes. This is 2 into 2 into 3 into 5 into 1. That is 60 years. 2 2s are there. So 2 raised to 2 into, how many 3s are there? Only 1. So 3 raised to 1 into 5 raised to 1. Now 72 is 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 3 into 1. So 72 is, how many 2s are there? 3. That is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 2 cube into how many 3? 2 3s. So 3 is repeating 2 times and 1. Now to find HCF, you want to check which is the common factor here. There are 2 and 3 as common factors. So HCF is 2 into 3. And in that, you want to check the powers of 2 and 3. In 60, the power is 2. And here in 72, the power of 2 is 3. You want to take the smallest power. That is, in 2 and 3, you will take smallest one, that is 2. Now, again, 3 is common here. And in the case of power, which is the smallest one, 1 or 2? 1. So you will take 1. That is, this is the HCF. 2 square means 2 into 2, that is 4, into 3 is equal to 12 is the HCF of 60 and 72. Now next is LCM. In LCM, it is not compulsory to take the common factors, but you want to take all the factors present there. So which are the factors? There is 2 and 3 and 5, right? Now here we took the smallest power, but in LCM we are taking the biggest power. In case of 2, here is 2 here, 3 here as powers. So you will take the biggest one, that is 2 cube. Now 3, here is 3 raised to 1 and 3 raised to 2, that is biggest power is 2. So 2. 5 have only one power. So the LCM is 2 cube is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. 3 square, 3 3s are 9. And 5 raised to 1 is 5. That is 72 into 5, 360 is the LCM. So this is a simple method to find HCF and LCM. For that, you want to first write the prime factorization. that is factorizing with primes, and then you will write it as powers. How many 2 has come there, like that. Then after that, to find HCF, you want to take only the common prime factors. Here 2 and 3, and also the power should be the smallest one. So comparing this, the smallest one is 2, like that. And in LCM, you want to take each and every primes, and also you want to take the biggest powers of it. Then you will get the HCF and LCM. These are all topics which I remind you before we entering into the new topic. So we are now going to learn the new topic in 10th standard, that is Euclid's division lemma. Euclid's division lemma. Euclid's division lemma is actually based on division, as it says. So first we want to know about division. We can divide 15 by 2. Here, if it is 15 divided by 2, then we can say 15 is the dividend and 2 is the divisor, because we are dividing 15. So it is the dividend by what? By 2. So it is the divisor. We can divide it. Here 7 2s are 14. The remainder is 1. Here 15 is the dividend, 2 is the divisor, 7 quotient, and 1 is the remainder. So we can write, this was the dividend, is equal to divisor 2 into quotient 7 plus 1. This is the relation between dividend, divisor, remainder and quotient in division. That is, dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Dividend is equal to 2 7s are 14, right? Plus 1 is 15. So divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now, this is what applied in Euclid's division lemma. Euclid is a mathematician and he used this division lemma for applying to find HCF. So, the statement of Euclid's division lemma is, for any two positive integers a and b, there exists a unique integer q and r satisfying a is equal to bq plus r. That is, he says, if a and b are any two positive integers, there exists a q and r for statement, that is a is equal to bq plus r. Here q and r are unique. Unique means there must be a single value for each a and b. If you find through any method, you will get same Q and R. So I will repeat the Euclid's division lemma. For any two positive integers a and b, there exists unique integer q and r satisfying a is equal to bq plus r. Also, a condition is there about r, 0 less than or equal to r less than b. Do you know what is this? This is a remainder, right? B is the, here I am showing the example. This is 15 is A, 2 is here B, 7 is quotient and 1 is remainder R. So they are saying that A is equal to, A means dividend is equal to B into Q, that is 2 into 7, that is divisor into quotient, B into Q plus R, that is 1, remainder. And the condition of remainder is given, it may be 0 or greater than 0 but less than divisor, because if it was like this, here the remainder is 0, right? That is, they told the condition, remainder can be 0 or greater than 0 any value but less than b. B is here, divisors. Remainder should always be less than b. If it is greater than b, then again you can divide. For example, here this b is 2. If remainder was greater than 2, that is, if it was 3 here, you will divide it again one more time. So you can't say remainder is greater than divisor. Remainder will always be less than divisor. Otherwise, you will divide it again and again to get remainder less than divisor. So, Euclid's division lemma is, for any positive integer a and b, there exists a unique integer q and r, and the condition is a is equal to bq plus r. Also, remainder have some conditions, that is 0 less than or equal to r less than b. Okay. Now, this lemma is used to prove HCF, and it is in a step-by-step procedure. So we can say Euclid's division algorithm. Algorithm means step-by-step procedure. We are using this lemma in a step-by-step procedure. So we named it as Euclid's division, not lemma, Euclid's division algorithm. Now we are going to talking about Euclid's division algorithm. We use this Euclid's division algorithm to find HCF of two numbers. The HCF of small numbers are very easy to find, like I did. But for bigger numbers, we can use Euclid's division algorithm. I will explain it through an example. Find HCF of 455 and 42. Now I am using Euclid's division algorithm to find the HCF of these numbers. If a question is given like this, first you want to look the greatest number here and you want to take it as the dividend. Always greatest number is the dividend. If the order in the question may be different, but you want to check which is the greatest number and take it as the dividend. Now 455 is the dividend, that is A. A is the dividend. I will write the Euclid's division lemma here. A is equal to BQ plus R. 0 less than or equal to R less than B. So dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Here dividend is 455, that is A is 455 and B is 42. Now I am going to divide to find the Q and R. 455 divided by 42. Here 2 digits, we will take the 2 digit here. How many times? 42 in 45, 1 time, that is 42. Balance 3. Carry down the 5 here. Now 35. This is lesser than B, right? B is 42, 35 is lesser than B. So you can stop here. That is remainder is less than B. Now we can write it in the form of A is equal to BQ plus R. How will you write? 455 is equal to B into Q. B is 42 here into Q. Q1 plus R. R is 35. Now to find HCF, I told you before, we are going to find HCF through step-by-step procedure, that is algorithm. So moving to the next step, here you can't find the HCF, you are going to find the HCF with some steps. So the second step, we will take this B to the new A. This B is the new A here and this R is the new B. So in the second step, you want to find Q and R. For that you will divide. $35 one time, you will get 7. Here the remainder is lesser than divisor, so you stop here. So 35 into Q is quotient 1 plus remainder is 7. Now again it's not time to stop. Continue the steps. Now in the third step, again B is going to be the, here this is the B, B is going to the new A. 35 is equal to, what will be the next B here? Same, R is the B here. Here R is 7. So 7. Now we want to find the new Q and R here. For that we are going to divide 35 divided by 7. 7 5s are 35, 0. Now you can stop the division here because R remainder is 0 and also lesser than B. Now you can stop it here. 7 into Q, that is 5, plus here the remainder is 0. Now you don't want to continue the step because you got the remainder as 0. Whenever you get the remainder 0, you will stop the division and you can get the HCF from this step. That is from the step where remainder is 0. And the HCF is the B in the last step. Here the B is 7. Wherever the remainder is 0, then the B in that step is the HCF of the given question. Okay. So to find the HCF of two numbers, you will take the biggest number as the dividend and smallest number as the divisor. Then you will divide, you will get remainder and quotient. And you will write it in the form A is equal to BQ plus R. If R is not 0, you continue the process, but you want to check one thing. In the next step, the previous steps B will be the new A and previous steps R will be the new B. Again, you will divide this and you will get new Q and R. Here also R is not 0. Again, continuing. Again, the previous B become the A and remainder become the B. Again, you divide. Here you got R0. So, stop. Now, the B in that last step is the HCF. So, you can write HCF of 455, 42 is what? 7, because in that step remainder is 0. This is the Euclid's division algorithm to find HCF. So, in Euclid's division algorithm, you will get two numbers. In that you want to take greatest number as dividend and the smallest to divisor. Then you divide, you will get Q and R. If R is not equal to 0, continue the steps, but remember the previous steps B is new A and the previous steps R is new B. Again divide, stop when you get remainder 0 and the B in that step is the HCF. Always remember the formula A is equal to BQ plus R. Okay, we will do another example. Find HCF of 4052 and 12576. So here two numbers given. Which is the biggest one? It is this one, 12,576. So you will take it as the dividend, that is A, 12,576. B here is the smallest number given, 4052. To find Q and R, you will divide it. Now you will write in the form A is equal to BQ plus R, that is 12576 is equal to B, that is 4052 into Q. Q is quotient, that is 3 here, plus R, 420. Here R is not 0, so you want to continue. Remember, this B is the new A. 4052 is equal to the remainder is new B, 420. Now 420 into 9 times. Balance 272. So you will write it 420 into quotient, that is Q, that is 9 plus remainder is 272. Now again remainder is not 0, so again continue. This become A, 420 is equal to, this is the new B, 272. Now again to find Q and R, divide it. For 20, 272, 272 into 1 plus 148. Again this becomes the A. 148 into you'll get 148 into 1 plus remainder is 124. Now again it is not 0 here, so continue. 148 is equal to 124 into 124. Here the Q is 1 here plus remainder 24. Again R is not 0, so continuing. 124 is equal to 24 into 5 times 4. That's 24 into 5 plus 4. Again 4 here, remainder is not 0. Again continue. Then 24. 4 becomes the B. You got Q is 6 plus remainder 0. Now stop the procedure here as we get the remainder as 0. And the HCF is B in the step where you got remainder 0. Here, which is the B? This is A is equal to BQ plus R. R is 0 here and the B is 4. So the HCF is 4. So HCF of 4052 and 12,576 is equal to 4. This is the Euclid's division algorithm method to find HCF. Okay. Now we'll check another type of questions from this part. Let us check another type of questions from Euclid's division lemma. Show that any positive even integer is of the form 2q and any positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1. We can check it with Euclid's division lemma. It was A is equal to BQ plus R. Here in the question also there is a Q. And in the lemma, along with Q, you can see B. That is coefficient of Q is B. Here the coefficient of Q is 2. So let us take B as 2. So we will start. Let A is equal to BQ plus R. Here B is equal to 2. If B is equal to 2, then you can say something about R, because we know R is always less than B. And also R is in between 0 and B. Either it will be 0 or it will be less than B. So here if B is equal to 0, then R can have values either it is 0 or 1, because it should not be 2, because B is 2. R should always be less than B. So R can have values 0 and 1. So we get two conditions here. That is, first one is A is equal to, here B is 2, so we can write 2Q plus R. First condition, r equal to 0. First condition, if r equal to 0, then a is equal to 2q plus 0. That is, a is equal to 2q. Now look, we can check some even numbers. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. even numbers. Each number can write as product of 2. That is, 2 is 2 into 1, 4 is 2 into 2, 6, 2 into 3, 8, 2 into 4, 10, 2 into 5. Like that, any number written in the form 2 into something means it is even. Right? So here you can see a is 2 into q. So this will be even because 2 is a factor like this. This is even. The reason is 2 is a factor in 2q. Now the second condition is, first one was r equal to 0. Next again we will take r equal to 1. If r equal to 1, we get a is equal to 2q plus 1. A is equal to bq plus r. Here b is 2, q plus r. Here we take r as 1. Now check. Here we got 2q is even. And in the number line you can find any number next to the even is odd. Here the next number is 3, it is odd. This is even, the next number is 5, it is odd. 6 is even, the next number 7 is odd. That is, if 2q is even, the next number means plus 1, right? 2 plus 1 is 3. 4 plus 1 is 5. Like that, if 2q is even, 2q plus 1, that is, the very next number will be odd. This is odd. The reason is 2q is even. If 2q is even, then 2q plus 1 will be odd. So we can conclude the statement as, therefore, any even positive integer is of the form 2q and any odd positive integer is of the form 2q plus 1. I will repeat it once more. If a question is given like this, we will first write Euclid's division lemma here, and from that, comparing to the question, we will get a number along with q, that should be b. Here b is 2. Then you will get r, values of r, that is less than b and 0. Here it is 2, so less than b means 1 and also 0. So first condition is, if r equal to 0, then a is equal to 2q, because b is 2, 2q plus 0, that is 2q. And every even number have 2 as a factor. So 2q means 2 is a factor here, then it should be even. The reason is 2 is a factor. Now next condition is, if r equal to 1, a is equal to 2q plus 1. We know, or we proved, 2q is even. Then the next number, that is 2q plus 1, will automatically odd. The reason is 2q is even, so 2q plus 1 is odd. So we conclude, therefore, every even positive integer is of the form 2q and every odd positive integer is of the form 2q plus 1. We will move to the next question. Show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1, 4q plus 3. Any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1. 4q plus 1 and 4q plus 3. So first we take let a is equal to bq plus r, a be any positive integer. Now checking it with Euclid's division lemma, you can find along with q there is 4. So here b is equal to 4. Here b is equal to 4. If b is 4, then r can have values 0, 1, 2 and 3. Not 4 because b is 4. So r can have values less than 4. Now 4 cases are there. First one, if r is equal to 0, then a is equal to bq means 4q plus r is 0. That is a is equal to 4q. I told you any number, if any number have 2 as the factor, it will be even. Here a is equal to 4q. When you split 4 into 2, a is equal to, we can split 4, that is 2 into 2q. 2 into 2q is 4q. Now, since we can write it as product of 2, that is 2 into some number, we can say it is even. It is even. The reason is 2 is a factor. Now, second condition is if r equal to 1. R equal to 1, a is equal to again 4q plus 1. We already proved 4q is even. Then I told you any number next, very next to even will be odd. If 4q is even, then the next number is 4q plus 1. That will be odd. It is odd. Reason is 4q is even. Proved above. Here we proved 4q is even. So 4q plus 1 is odd. Third case, if r is equal to 2, then a is equal to 4q plus 2. A is equal to 4q plus 2. There are two terms here. 4q, in 4q and 2, 2 is a common factor. Taking that 2 outside, we can write this as 2 into, from here when you take 2 outside, the balance will be 2q. Plus, from here, if you take 2 outside, balance will be 1. That is 2 into 2q, 4q, plus 2 into 1, 2. Here again you get a is equal to 2 into something. We can name it as m, 2 into m, like that. Then it is even because 2 is a factor here. It is even. Last case is if r is equal to 3, then a is equal to 4q plus 3. Now listen carefully. 4q plus 3. This can be written as a is equal to 4q plus 3 can be written as 2 plus 1. Right? That is 4q plus 3 is 4q plus 2 plus 1. Now, from first two terms, you can get 2 as a factor. So, taking it outside, 2 into 2q plus, from here, if you take 2 outside, balance will be 1. Close the bracket. Now, this plus 1. Now, let us name it as m. then A is equal to 2m plus 1. We have already proved 2m is even. Then the next number, that is 2m plus 1, will be odd. It is odd. I'll clear it once more. A is equal to BQ plus R. B here we take B as 4. Then R can have values 0, 1, 2, 3. First case R equal to 0. A is equal to 4Q plus 0, that is 4Q. 4Q can be written as 2 into 2Q. 2 into, if we write anything as 2 into, then it is even. Now if R equal to 1, A is equal to 4Q plus 1. Here 4Q is even, then 4Q plus 1 is the next number of 4Q, then it will be odd. Third one, if R equal to 2, A is equal to 4Q plus 2. Taking 2 from these two terms, taking 2 outside, you will get in the bracket 2Q and 1. That is, take this portion as M. You will write A is equal to 2M, that is multiple of 2. So it is even because you can find a 2 here, so it is even. Now fourth condition, if R equal to 3, A is equal to 4Q plus 3. Now A is equal to 4Q plus, you split this 3 into 2 plus 1. Now A is equal to 4Q plus 2 plus 1. Again in first two terms, there is 2 as a common factor. Taking 2 outside, inside the bracket you will get 2Q plus 1. If you consider this as M, you can write A is equal to 2M plus 1. You have already proved 2M is even, then 2M plus 1, that is next number to 2M is odd. Now conclude which are odd here. This is odd and this is odd. That is R equal to 1 is odd and R equal to 3 is odd. That was what we have asked. Now we proved that any odd positive integers of the form 4Q plus 1 and 4Q plus 3. Now next one. Next question. Oh, it's little bigger one. Show that any odd integer is of the form 6Q plus 1, 6Q plus 3, 6Q plus 5. Odd positive integer is of the form 6Q plus 1, 6Q plus 3 and 6Q plus 5. Now along with Q, that is B, here along with Q it is 6. So let us take, first we want to say let A be any positive integer. B is equal to here 6. So R can have values from 0 up to 6, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So how many cases? 6 cases are there. First one, R is equal to 0, then A is equal to 6Q plus 0. That is A is equal to 6Q can be written as 2 into 3Q, that is 6Q. So we can write it as 2 into, so it is even. If this is M, then it is even. Reason is 2 is a factor. Second condition, second case, R is equal to 1. Then A is equal to 6Q plus 1. It is odd reason is 6q is even, we have proved, then 6q plus 1, that is next number to 6q will be odd. Reason is 6q is even. Third case, r is equal to 2, then a is equal to 6q plus 2. Taking 2 from these two terms, a is equal to 2, taking 2 outside, this becomes 3q plus 1. It will be m, that is 2m. This is even. Reason is 2 is a factor. Now fourth case, r is equal to 3. Then a is equal to 6q plus 3. Again a is equal to 6q plus 3 can be written as 2 plus 1. Now this is even. We have already proved. So 6q plus 2 plus 1 will be odd. This is odd. Reason is 6q plus 2 is even. Then 6q plus 2 plus 1 is odd. Fifth one, r is equal to 4. A is equal to 6q plus 4. Again a is equal to, take 2 from these two terms. Taking 2 outside, this becomes 3q plus 2. That will be m. Then this is even because 2 is a factor. Last case, sixth case, r is equal to 5. Then a is equal to 6q plus 5. A is equal to 6q plus 5 can be written as 4 plus 1. This one 6q plus 4, it is even, we have already proved. So 6q plus 4 plus 1 is odd. This is odd. Reason is 6q plus 4 is even. Then 6q plus 4 plus 1 will be odd. Now it is completed. Last we can conclude that where are the odd numbers here? Here. 6q plus 1 is odd. 6q plus 3 is odd. And 6q plus 5 is odd. So every positive integer, odd integer is of the form 6q plus 1, 6q plus 3 and 6q plus 5. Next, we have another type. Use Euclid's division lemma to show that square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. Show that square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. Here in the question itself, they have given a hint here. Hint is that to take, not to take 3m, consider it as 3q. Because after squaring, we will be getting some m there. So now, when you are starting the problem, you must take as 3q. So if it is 3q, then b will be 3. b is equal to 3, then r can have values 0, 1, 2. Case 1, if r is equal to 0, then a is equal to 3q plus 0, that is a is equal to 3q. Now we have asked to square the number, therefore squaring on both sides, a square is equal to 9q square, that is 3q whole square, that is 9q square, that is a square is equal to 9 can be split as 3 into 3q square. Let this be m here, then a square is equal to 3m. Once more I tell. Here r is equal to 0, then a equal to 3q plus 0, that is 3q. Now we are talking about squares, so taking square on both sides, a square is equal to 3q whole square, that is 9q square, that is a square is equal to 9 is split into 3 into 3, that is 3 into 3q square. We are taking this 3q square as m, so we can say 3m. Here m is equal to 3q square. Then this is 3m. Now second one, r is equal to 1. Then a is equal to 3q plus 1. Now squaring on both sides, a square is equal to 3q plus 1 whole square. This is of the form a plus b whole square. A plus b whole square, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Then we get a square means first term square, that is 9q square plus 2 into a into b, 2 into 3q into 1, that is 6q plus b square, that is 1 square, 1. Now from these two terms you can have 3 as a common factor. Taking 3 outside from this 2, here when 3 is taken outside, balance is 3 here, again q square, plus from here 3 is taken outside, balance is 2q, close the bracket, plus 1. Now if this is m, we can write it as 3m plus 1. Here consider this as m. Now third condition, r is equal to 2. Then a equal to 3q plus 2. Again squaring on both sides. A square is equal to 3q plus 2 the whole square. Again applying a plus b whole square is equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square. Here a square is equal to, this is a plus b whole square. Now a square means first term square, 9q square plus 2ab, 2 into 3q into 2, 12q plus b square, that is here 2 square, 4. Now a square is equal to 9q square plus 12q plus, we want to take 3 common as we did here. So we are splitting this 4 to, we can't take a multiple 3 from here. So we are splitting this 4 to 3 plus 1. This is 4 to 3 plus 1. Now a square is equal to 9, before that we'll take 3 outside. From these three terms, taking 3 outside, then here when 3 is taken outside, balance is 3q square, plus here taken 3 outside, 4q, plus from 3 is taken outside, balance 1, close the bracket, then this plus 1 taken down. Now consider this as m. So a square is equal to 3m plus 1. So I say, it was asked to find square of any positive integer is of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. Now we are considering here b as 3. So 3 conditions are there, r equal to 0, 1 and 2. From r equal to 0, a is equal to 3q. We want squares. So squaring on both sides, a square equal to 9q square. From 9, 3 is taken outside, that is a square equal to 3 into 3q square. Take this as m. So we can write a square is equal to 3m. Now next is r equal to 1. Then a equal to 3q plus 1. Squaring on both sides, a square is equal to 3q plus 1 whole square. This is a plus b whole square. Expanding it, we get a square plus 2ab plus b square. From these two terms, we are taking 3 outside, and inside the bracket, we will get this and we name it as m. So we write a square is equal to 3m plus 1. Now third one was r is equal to 2, a is equal to 3q plus 2. Again squaring on both sides, a square is equal to 3q plus 2 whole square. That is a plus b whole square again. Then a square plus 2ab plus b square. Here we need a multiple of 3 to take 3 outside. So we are splitting this 4 to 3 plus 1. Then from first 3 terms we can take 3 outside. 3q square plus 4q plus 1. Then balance plus 1 is here. Now take this as m. So a square is equal to 3m plus 1. Now it is proved that square of any positive integer is of the form 3m or 3m plus 1. Next one is, use Euclid's division lemma to prove that cube of any positive integer is of the form 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. We want to prove cube of any positive integer is of the form 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. If you are taking b as 9, there may be so many steps because you get r 0, 1, 2, r as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So better we can take again b as 3 because the factor of 9 is 3. So we are taking, for our convenience, b is equal to 3. If we take b is equal to 9, there will be so many steps. That is why we are taking b is equal to 3. Then we will reach to the answer. Then r is equal to 0, 1 and 2. First case, r is equal to 0. Then a equal to 3q plus 0. Now we want to take the cube on both sides. Cube on both sides. A cube is equal to 3q whole cube. That is a cube is equal to 27q cube. Here we want to write it as any form from this. So we will be writing it as this form. For that, a cube is equal to 9. 27 can be split as 9 into 3. 27 q cube. Now this should be m. So a cube is equal to 9m. Now next one, r is equal to 1. Then a is equal to 3q plus 1. Taking cube on both sides. A cube is equal to 3q plus 1 whole cube. Do you know the expansion of a plus b whole cube? What is a plus b whole cube? It is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. So how will you write this? This is a plus b whole cube. So a cube, that is first term cube. Again 27q cube plus 3 into first term square into b into second term. That is 3 into 3q whole square into 1. That is 3 into 3q, 27q square plus 3ab square, 3 into 3q into 1 square plus b cube is again 1 cube, that is 1. Now a cube is equal to, from first 3 terms you can take 9 outside because it is all multiple of 9. Taking 9 outside, this become 3q cube plus this is 3q square plus this is cube because 9 is taken outside. This is cube plus this one. Now considering this as m, a cube is equal to this 9, this m plus 1. Next case is r is equal to 2. Again a is equal to 3q plus 2. Taking cube on both sides. A cube is equal to 3 cube plus 2 whole cube. Expanding this with a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube, we get this one is a cube, that is 3 into 3 into 3 into q cube, 27q cube plus 3a square b, 3 into 3 square into b, that is 3 into 3 square means 27q square into 2, 27, 54 q square plus next is 3ab square, 3 into 3q into 2 square, 3 into 3q, that is 9q into 4, that is 36q plus b cube, that is 2 cube, 8. This is the expansion of a plus b whole cube. This is a plus b whole cube. Then this is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Expanding it, then we will get a cube is equal to, from these 3 we will take 9 outside, then 3q cube plus 6q square plus 4q. Closing this, then this plus 8. Considering this as m, then a cube is equal to 9m plus 8. So you can conclude as cube of any positive integer is either of the form 9m or 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. That's all. Now we can go to next type of questions. We will move to the next type of questions. It is statement problems. I have written the questions here. A sweet seller has 420 kaju burfis and 130 badam burfis. She wants to stack them in such a way that each stack has the same number and they take least area. What is maximum number of burfis that can be placed in each stack? Two types of burfis are there. They want to stack in same numbers and they will take least area. So we have to find what is the maximum number of burfis that can be placed in each stack. Each stack, how many burfis are placed? Now, the next question. An army contingent of 616 members is to march behind an army band of 32 members in a parade. Two groups are to march in same number of columns. What is the maximum number of columns in which they can march? These questions have the same behavior. That is, you want to stack with same number and find maximum number of burfis. Here we have to march in same number and we have to find maximum number of columns. Here same number of stacks and find maximum number of burfis. Stack has the same number and find maximum number of burfis. Here march in same number and to find maximum number of columns. If you get these type of questions, you want to take the HCF. Okay? Don't be confused. We will study fundamental theorem of arithmetic later, and in that we want to take multiplications and LCMs. So don't be confused. If these terms are there, you want to find the HCF, that is highest common factor. So using Euclid's division lemma, we will write, there are two numbers here, 420 and 130. This is the greater number, so this will be dividend here, that is A is equal to BQ plus R form. Then 420 is equal to 130 into, here quotient is 3 plus remainder 30. Now in the next step, 130 becomes the dividend, 30 becomes the divisor. Dividing, you will get quotient as 4 and remainder 10. You can't stop since the remainder is not 0. So again, continuing, the new dividend is 30, remainder becomes the divisor here. Then 30 is equal to 10 into 3 plus 0. Here you got the 0 here. So stop the procedure. Now the B here is the HCF. That is 10 is the HCF. So maximum number of burfis that can be placed in each stack is 10. Now coming to the next one. Here two numbers are 616 and 32. Again 616 will be the dividend. Dividing it with 32, you will get 19 as quotient and remainder 8. Now again 32 becomes the new dividend. 8 is the new divisor. 32 is equal to 8 into 4 plus 0. Remainder is 0. So procedure is completed. Now B in the last step, that is 8, is the HCF. So the maximum number of columns in which the army people can march is 8 columns. This is the answer.